Do you think most women actually like men?
No, I'm glad that you mentioned that in the book. Another ugly truth that guys need to get through their head. Most women don't like you guys. With technology, women entering the workforce, education, all this other stuff, them being able to provide for themselves essentially in a modernized society where they don't need men, it makes it even worse for men because now they really don't like you and they don't have to deal with you. It used to be a woman would deal with a guy because she wanted to get married, have kids, whatever, she needed him. So she would be willing to deal with a more average guy. Now they make their own money and everything else like that. Now they really don't need men.
Now he's totally right here, because women don't date for survival anymore. But the part that he misses here is that women still want a guy, but only if he is attractive, exciting, and if he can make her feel something. And the thing is that the vast majority of men just come off very boring to women, and that's why they don't find them attractive. And these things that still attract women nowadays, they are all learnable for men. There's a lot of upward mobility for men in dating, if they do the work. Because if you become that guy that women genuinely want, then you will have more options than you know what to deal with. So don't hope that dating is going to become anything easier in the next few years, because it won't. You will just have to do the work. You either adapt to how the game is being played nowadays, or you will just be ignored. Follow for more dating tips.
Modern dating is broken is a cop-out for most men. Because even if modern dating was truly broken, then it would still be best that you become the most attractive and best version of yourself. But that is not why most men say that modern dating is broken. Most men say this to justify not putting in any action. Because most modern men are lazy and entitled. They want results without effort. And that's not the fault of modern dating, it's your fault for not putting in any action. And a real man does not play the blame game, he just puts in the work to master it. He plays the hand that he was dealt like a proper professional. And he plays the game to win. So improve your dating life like your happiness depends on it, because it does. And follow for proper dating tips.
Men are totally right to be complaining about women's dating standards. That's what this gentleman says in this comment. And this is the most common victim narrative that you will hear on the internet nowadays. It's basically saying, well, it's women's fault that modern dating is broken. And every time I hear this from a guy, I see someone that hasn't even done any kind of work to become a better guy. He never worked on his communication with women or his presentation overall. He doesn't dress well, his grooming is not on point, but he still expects women to want him. That kind of man basically wants results without any effort. And then they will go online and they will latch on to victim narratives that will tell them, well, you're totally right, man. Women ain't shit nowadays. And the truth is that women's dating standards nowadays are not that high. Men just don't want to put in the work to become the man that women genuinely want. It's easier to fall for a victim narrative, but it also gives up all your power. Winning is very easy once you apply the right mindset, especially because nowadays so many men have already thrown in the towel before they have even tried seriously to get results. If you want to win in modern dating, then follow this page.
Complaining about modern dating is completely pointless. Because even if modern dating is truly broken, then it doesn't change the fact that you need to level up as a man. You need to become the best and most attractive version of yourself. But men nowadays will say modern dating is broken as a way to avoid responsibility. And they will use it to justify doing nothing. And that mindset will get you nowhere in your life. Because you don't improve yourself just because you want to date better women. You improve yourself because you get many benefits out of it, and dating is just one of them. So stop outsourcing responsibility and take massive action. Because men will always need to become better and work on their self-development no matter how screwed up society becomes. And follow for proper dating tips. This is the real reason that men complain about modern dating. Because most men have become juvenile and weak. Because modern dating is competitive because women can choose their men freely. And when something becomes competitive, winning requires work. And a modern man doesn't want to do the work because he wants to get things easy and for free. So instead of doing the work, they resort to finger pointing. They will blame women and blame modern dating. And all of that shows that the modern man is lazy and entitled. Because even if modern dating was truly broken, then it would still be best for you to become the best and most attractive version of yourself. Winners will always adapt and thrive, no matter how broken modern dating gets. And losers will just always complain and find some justification. So it's up to you which side you want to pick right now. Follow if you want to become that guy that wins in modern dating. This is the real reason that men complain about modern dating nowadays. And this is going to piss off most modern men, but it's the brutal truth. Most modern men feel that the world owes them dating results. They feel entitled to women's attraction and affection. And that's why they whine about women's attitudes. And they whine about how dating is so hard. And they do this to cover up the truth that they do not want to put in the work to become an attractive man that women actually chase. And that's why you should stop being so delusional and stop complaining. Accept that dating requires effort and no one owes you anything. And if you do not want to do that, then keep complaining like the rest and get no results. And follow for proper dating tips.
Dating apps have ruined dating and romance. That's what this woman says in this Reddit post. And this sounds good, but it's just total nonsense. The dating apps didn't ruin anything, they just exposed what was already happening. Because ghosting and shitty dating experiences and horror stories, all of that stuff, it was happening before social media was even here. It's just that nowadays social media puts every horror story right in your face. And social media gives men a place where they can park their resentment. Because they can go on forums and complain how they've been getting ghosted and how women didn't behave the way they want to and all of that stuff. The truth is that dating has always been messy and it always required men to level up. It's just nowadays that you're constantly confronted by it with social media. Now, if you are a guy, then you want to focus on what you can control. Because you cannot remove dating apps from modern dating. The only thing that you can do is work on getting a strategy that makes you succeed in modern dating. You need to sharpen your skills and improve your communication. You need to learn how to become very competitive and stand out in the dating marketplace. Because when you are that guy, then you will not get horror stories and you will also never complain about not getting any dates. At that point, when you have everything dialed in, you won't need to complain because you will have fulfilling dating experiences. So if you are that guy that is ready to level up, then follow this page.
This is the real reason that men complain about modern dating. Because men will pretend that they are 100% fine. And they will pretend that it's all women's fault that they are not getting results. Complaining about modern dating is basically the same as saying, I want to be myself, like a person that has been hanging out on Reddit way too much. And let's be real, most men don't dress well and their hygiene is off. The modern man isn't charismatic and he doesn't have an interesting lifestyle. But somehow this modern man believes that women should be attracted to him and sleep with him just because it's him. Even though this modern man hasn't put in any effort to be a great dating option. And that's totally delusional and shows how entitled men are. Because women do not owe you attraction, you have to work to get it. Start working on your style and improve your communication. You are not fine, you haven't done any work to actually realize your full potential as a man. And follow for more dating tips.
This woman says that dating apps have ruined dating and romance. And many people love this narrative, but it's total BS. But people latch onto this narrative because it's a comforting narrative. It puts the blame on society and technology that they are not getting any dates or success in dating in general. It's a victim mindset that basically says, I'm totally fine, society is screwed up. I don't need to change to get better results in dating. Society needs to change. And that's totally delusional because society is not going to change for you. If you want results in your dating life as a man, then you need to take radical responsibility for your actions and your results in dating. And that counts for men just as well as for women. Because without taking responsibility, you cannot get better results in your dating life. Now, if you're ready to take radical responsibility and get results in your dating life, then follow this page.
I'm about to sound like an old folk, but back in my day when I first started dating, you talked to one person, got to know one person, you went on a date with one person at a time. Nowadays, you have to compete with 20 different motherfuckers. We make this shit more complicated than it needs to be. It was a one-dimensional type of thing. We need to go back to that.
Now, the idea that we should go back to the good old days, it sounds nice, but it's just not realistic in reality. Because even if we wanted to go back to a society where there was very little dating competition, we wouldn't have any way to do it because social media and dating apps are not going anywhere. So yes, things have changed a lot, but that's not an excuse to rage quit or to get frustrated. Because at the end of the day, you cannot change the dating marketplace. The only thing that you can do is just to become better and become a very, very good dating option. And I know that isn't a very sexy answer, but that's the only thing that you can do, and it's also the only thing that helps you to get results nowadays. Now, if you want to become that guy that is competitive in modern dating, then follow this page.
World, the best guys in the world who are charming, charismatic, understand this shit to a molecular level. Why do they only close 10%? Think about that, guys. If mystery is closing like 7 to 8% of girls, 9%, what the do you think an average guy's gonna close? Does that mean that a majority of women like a majority of men? Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Now, he is totally right about what he says here, but the conclusion that he comes to, there is where he goes wrong. Because yes, even if you have James Bond level charisma, dating is still a numbers game. But where the average guy goes wrong is that he doesn't run the numbers, and even if he runs the numbers, he doesn't have the strategy and he doesn't have the skill. And that doesn't mean that there is something wrong with the game or that women have too high standards. Men often just make either a strategic error, they're not running the numbers, or they just need to improve their skill, one of those three. Because the average guy just bets on luck in his dating life. He just hopes that women come to him, and I've been there myself many years ago. So you don't need a crazy high closing rate. So the average guy isn't doomed. The average guy is not winning because he's winging it. Now, if you want to learn the right skills and apply the right strategy in dating to get consistent results, then follow this page.
This is the real reason that men complain about modern dating. Because the modern man will just do anything to avoid taking responsibility for his dating results. He doesn't want to hear the truth that his communication sucks, and that his behavior turns women off, and that his ego is massive but unjustified. He doesn't take any feedback and he doesn't want to humble himself to learning, and he hides behind blaming women instead of focusing on his growth. And the truth is that you can always control your inputs in dating. Better actions always lead to better results. So stop crying like a kid that doesn't get a candy. Set your ego aside and focus on becoming that attractive man, and follow for proper dating tips.